I remember the day clearly, not because something dramatic happened at first, but because it was so ordinary. A Tuesday, late afternoon. The light outside had that soft golden hue. I had just made myself a cup of tea and was flipping through an old photo album. Then, it hit me. Not a sound, not a bang. Just wrongness. A wave of dizziness so sudden it felt like the floor was tilting. My vision blurred. I tried to stand up, but my right leg didn't cooperate. My right arm gone, like it didn't belong to me anymore. I opened my mouth to call out, and nothing. The words in my head didn't come out. My face felt strange. And that's when the fear hit. I was having a stroke. Alone. There was no one to shout for, no one in the next room. Just me. Just this body I suddenly couldn't trust. And yet, something else kicked in. Not panic. Not yet. A voice in my mind. One I'd heard before. Remember BEFAST. I had seen it in a pamphlet once. A public service poster stuck to the wall at my doctor's office. Balance. I couldn't stand. Eyes. My vision was off. Face. Something told me it was drooping. Arms. I couldn't lift my right one. Speech. Gone. Just air. Time. And that was the word ringing in my ears. Time. Because with stroke, every second kills brain cells. And I knew I had to act. Now let me back up for a moment. I didn't know I'd be facing this situation. No one ever does. But a few months before, a friend of mine had shared something simple but life-changing. She said, "If you live alone, you don't wait for emergencies to make a plan. You prepare in calm so you can survive the storm." So I had made sure of a few things. My phone was always on me, in a small crossbody pouch. Sounds silly maybe, to carry your phone around the house, until it doesn't. I also had set up speed dial for 911 and clearly labeled my medical info in my contacts. Even better, I had invested in a voice-activated smart speaker near my kitchen, one of those devices people use to play music or check the weather. But mine was set to call emergency contacts on voice command. That day, it worked. With effort, I pulled the phone from my pouch and tapped the emergency call. And even though my speech was slurred, I managed one word: stroke. Now, in those precious minutes waiting for help, something else came back to me. Something I had read once but never practiced. Cough, CPR. Let me be clear, it's controversial. Some experts debate its usefulness. But in a moment where I couldn't do much, I tried a deep breath, a strong cough, over and over. Not to restart anything, but to stay conscious, to keep some blood moving. It helped, or maybe it helped me feel like I was doing something. The next thing I did, I propped myself up slightly. I remembered, flat is bad for stroke. Elevate the head if you can. Keep calm. Harder than it sounds when half your body isn't listening. But I focused on my breath, slow in, slow out, and counted. I told myself, you are not dying. Not today. The ambulance came within 11 minutes. What happened next? I'll tell you soon. But here's what I want you to take from this so far. You can survive alone, but not by chance. By preparation. By knowing what the signs look like. By planning what you do if the worst happens. Because it's not morbid to prepare. It's empowering. A few weeks after my stroke, I was back home, recovering, grateful, cautious. Then one night, around 2 a.m., I woke up with an odd feeling. Not pain exactly, more like pressure. Like someone had set a small bag of bricks on my chest. It wasn't sharp. It wasn't dramatic. It was quiet, heavy, creeping. And that's the terrifying truth about heart attacks. They don't always shout. Sometimes they whisper. At first I thought, maybe I slept wrong. Maybe it's gas. But then came the sweat. Cold. Sudden. My jaw started to ache. My back too. And I remembered reading something once that stuck with me. If you're trying to convince yourself it's not a heart attack, it probably is. I couldn't ignore it. And if I had, I might not be here talking to you now. I didn't panic. I had a plan. One I want you to have too. First, I called 911. Even if you're unsure, call anyway. Say clearly, I may be having a heart attack. I am alone. Here's my address. Don't worry about bothering them. Don't minimize your symptoms. If they say it's nothing, that's the best outcome. But if they don't come, and it is something, that's everything. Second, I chewed aspirin. Not swallowed, chewed. That matters. It works faster. Always check with your doctor first, but many recommend keeping a small emergency stash on hand for this reason. Third, I got into a position that helped my breathing. I leaned slightly forward, loosened anything tight around my chest, and stayed calm. I focused on my breath. In, hold, and out. Again and again. Here's what I want to say loud and clear. Panic kills faster than most symptoms. When we panic, our breathing quickens, our heart races, and we feed fear instead of fighting the threat. So practice now, in calm moments. Slow, steady breaths. Mental rehearsals of your emergency plan. Say it out loud if you have to. I recognize what's happening. I know what to do. I can save myself. Because you can. After these two events, the stroke, the heart scare, I changed my life. I bought a simple wall chart with stroke and heart attack signs. It's right by my kitchen. I programmed my phone with voice-accessible emergency dialing. I subscribed to a medical alert system, one with fall detection and GPS, just in case I'm outside. I even told a neighbor, if you don't see my lights on by 9 a.m., knock. It felt embarrassing at first, like I was admitting I was fragile. But now I see it differently. I wasn't preparing for death. I was preparing for life, for independence, for survival, for giving myself a fighting chance. The hardest part wasn't the stroke. It wasn't the chest pain. It was the days after, when the silence of the house felt heavier than ever. You wake up and everything feels fine, but also fragile. You wonder, what if it happens again? What if next time I'm not fast enough, not lucky enough? That fear is real. But so is something else, resilience. You build it, you practice it, and over time, it replaces the fear with readiness. I live alone. That used to scare me, especially after what happened. But now, I've reframed it. I'm not isolated. I'm prepared. I'm not without support. I'm proactive. I've set up a routine. Every morning, I text my daughter a single word. Here. If she doesn't see that word by 10 a.m., she checks in. I keep a simple checklist by my bed. Phone fully charged? Emergency contacts visible? Medications ready? And I've taken care of my spirit too. I journal. I laugh out loud at old movies. I've joined an online community for seniors. We play virtual bridge, share stories, and check in. The key is, don't wait for crisis to connect. Build your lifeline before you ever need to grab it. If you're watching this and you live alone, if you've felt the fear of what might happen, if you've ever whispered to yourself, what if no one's there when I need help? I hear you. I was you. And here's what I've learned. Know the signs. Rehearse your plan. Tell someone your routine. Set up tools that support you. Don't dismiss the little things your body tells you. Breathe. Stay calm. Act. But above all, never believe that being alone means being helpless. You are not fragile. You are not forgotten. You are not powerless. I survived not because I was lucky. Though luck played a part, I survived because I had taken steps in advance. I had learned. I had prepared. You can too. So today, I want you to do one small thing. Pick up your phone. Save the number of someone you trust on speed dial. Write down your medications and tape it to your fridge. Put a sticky note near your light switch. BEFAST. Know the signs. One day, that tiny action might be the thing that saves you. If this story moved you or made you think, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to Joyful Wellness Life. It helps us reach more people who might need this message. And if you've ever had a similar experience, or if you live alone and worry about emergencies, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. You're not alone.